Hi guys, Mel the Train Tutor here again with another tutorial for you. Now we've been making a lot of hills lately and I've been taking you through how to make things like this, and there's various videos, and this will be part of a hill playlist when it's finally finished. Okay, now that's all well and good, and I've shown you how to do all of this sort of stuff dead easy and you can do it yourself, but we've been making odd pieces of terrain that just, stand alone, so to speak. And what I want to do in this video is sort of show you how to plan making modular hills and a terrain for your battlefield table, because it's not odds and sods. It's, you want to build a set of hills, a set of woods, a set of everything, if you get what I mean. So what I thought I'd do is I'd take you through the sort of steps to do that. And by what I mean by steps is you can't just say, right, I'm going to make a table's worth of terrain. Okay, you have to sit down and sort of figure out what materials you need, what materials you've got, how much terrain you want, what sort of terrain it's going to be, yeah? And you've got to plan it out. And so what I thought I'd do is I'd just take you through planning out, yeah, a table's worth of terrain. And I'm more interested, to be perfectly honest, in the modular stuff. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to mess around with my webcam and see if I can get it on a better angle so you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, so we'll be going cameras down in a minute and hopefully you'll be having a top-down view of my planning sheet. Anyway, let's go cameras down. Right guys, I've managed to jerry-rig my webcam so you can see straight down and see what I'm seeing from my side now. It's not particularly easy to work with, but at least you get a decent picture. If you notice a very slight wobble on it, then that's because it's suspended off a long metal ruler jerry-rigged to the wall. So anyway, let's get cracked on. Okay, what I've got here is a bit of graph paper, and what I've done is I've marked it out with increments. Okay, and this is to represent a 2x4 piece of MDF, which is the piece I'm going to be working from to make this table's worth of scenery. And if you notice, yeah, what I've got is 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot, 4 foot, then 2 foot down the side. So it's a 2x4 piece. And what I'm going to do is show you how, by cleverly planning it out, you can get the most modular pieces from one piece of terrain. Now, the thing I struggle with when I'm making modular terrain is getting perfectly straight edges. I struggle with when I'm using cutting tools to get an exact straight edge. So I need to minimize the amount of actual cutting into the board, yeah, as much as possible. Because let's be honest, what I could do is I could cut out a big circle and then I could cut it like that, okay, and then I would have 1, 2, 3, 4 modular pieces, but that's all relying on my perfect cutting. Whereas if I use the edges, I know they're straight. So what I'm going to do is just take you through how I'm planning this board. Okay, now first and foremost, yeah, I work in 3 different measurements. Okay, the first is 12. I'm using green to represent 12-inch lengths. Okay. Next up, I'm going to do 9-inch. Yeah. And I like multiples of 3. It's just a thing with me. You can do multiples of 1, 2, 7, whatever you want. But if you're planning these pieces to fit together, then I really suggest you color code certain set dimensions so you know that that piece will definitely go with that piece. So we've got 9 next. And after 9, we've got 6. It should be to there, yeah? 6 squares. So 12 inches, 9 inches, 6 inches. So let me show you what I'm going to do. First, I'm going to capitalize on the corner pieces because they are right angles. Okay, so they're going to fit together and make these quarters that we did on the other side far cleaner. So I'm going to make 2 12-inch. I'm going to use the entire side of this to make a 12 there and a 12 there. Now what I don't want is a 12 by 12. I actually want 12 by 9s. So the blue would come in here and that would be a 9-inch there. And doing it across here, a 9-inch there, yeah? So what we've got straight away is 2 terrain pieces that will fit at the 9 sides or the 12 sides. Okay, so it can be a nice pointy or it can be a long smooth. Okay, and I'm going to duplicate exactly the same on this side. Okay, so that's straight away, just using the corners, we've got 4 pieces we can use. The next thing I'm going to do is I want to incorporate some 6s. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 9s first. In fact, no, 12s first. Yeah, we'll go from here and we're going to go 12. So from there to there. That should be 12, yeah. So we've got a 12 there. Okay, but I only want this to come out 6 inches. Yeah, so we're going to cut into the board. And the reason why I only want 6 inches is relatively small, yeah, for cutting in a straight line. So I'm pretty sure I can get 6 inches straight line, no problems at all. Okay, and to capitalise on that 6-inch cut, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go another 12, which should take me to there. Okay, now these 12s can go onto the ends of these, yeah, to give it a 15 cut across. Okay, so 2 more pieces into the modular pile. I mean, what you can do is you can put these 2 side by side and have 2 sort of a valley. And I'll take you through this once I've actually cut it out with MDF. Now you'll notice I've got 6 inches left there, and I'm not going to not use that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another 6-inch cut there. Okay, and this is just capitalising on this. This isn't going to be paired up with anything. All this does is use a bit of that nice straight edge of the MDF. There you are, we've got another 6-1 there. And coming down here, what I can do is I've done 12s there, so I want some 9s by 6s. Okay, so straight away we've got 9s. Yeah, that can go with the 6s, can go with the 9s. Okay, and all of a sudden you're starting to build up quite a wide range of modular pieces. And the final thing is we have 12 here. 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 1 either side, 12. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there you are, I've capitalised on every single straight edge on that 2x4 bit of MDF to make a number of modular pieces that will go to each other and are standard. Okay? Now you'll notice that I'm cutting in 6 inches, and I've said that's because, you know, I'm not confident with cutting long straight lines for modular pieces. You know, 12-inch line, I'm really not confident in doing that in a straight edge. 6-inch, yeah, I can do that. Okay, but the other benefit of only going 6 inches in on this side is look at all this space. That's at least 12 inches across. Okay, so what I'll be planning on doing, and I'm going to do this with a pencil so it doesn't mess up my sort of plan. Yeah, but I'm going to be planning on filling all these up and cutting them out to make the individual pieces where edges don't matter. Yeah. You get the idea. Yeah, so I've got a nice bit of MDF left to make a load of single pieces along with a large modular ones. And the reason I like these sort of corner pieces and these long pieces is whenever you normally sit down and make terrain, you make lots of circular ones. And when you put it on the battlefield, what you get is clean edges all the way around. And it just isn't like that. Battlefields are supposed to be roaming terrain with a cut-off. You know, they're not supposed to be an isolated set of hills in the middle of a flat land. Okay, so this gives me my edges whilst leaving me the room to make my centerpieces, the stuff that actually sits in the middle of the table or away from the edges. So that's it, guys. That's how you plan how to do a modular table and how you plan your cuts from your baseboard. Like I said, I'm using MDF for this, and I'm going to go start cutting the, well, I've got to go get the kids in a minute, but I'm going to cut these out, okay, once the kids are sort of sorted and back at school, back at home and busy. and I'll show you what the cuts look like on an actual piece of MDM. But that's how to plan your modular pieces. Okay? Right, next shot, it'll be us, what you call it? It'll be us cutting. See you in, guys. Right guys, I've cut out all the polystyrene blocks and cleaned them up. Now this was the very first polystyrene block that we did, and it was a corner piece, so I know these are perfectly straight. It fits on the MDF template really well, you know, so this is good, ready to go be carved into a hill. Now with this one, this was the one that had a rough cut on it, okay, and I've cleaned that up already. You remember that piece where we left a gap so we could do a rough cut and then we're going to clean it up? Okay, and there's a load of different ways of cleaning up. You can use rulers as guides, masking tape, all different sort of things. I actually use this, yeah, which is sort of an invention of mine. I'll throw a link up in one of the corners and in the description to how this works and everything, but I'm not going to go over it in this video. You can check that out if you need to know. Yeah. Otherwise, just cut and clean them up so they fit nicely on the templates. Yeah. So here we have two pieces. They are 6s. Yeah, at this edge. Okay, well, at that edge, shall we say. Yeah, so you can see they line up pretty nicely. There's a little bit off there. That's probably because a little bit there, nothing major. Okay, it's not going to affect anything. But the thing is, we need to make these modular. And by modular, what I mean is when we put them together, they've got to fit together. So they can't be staggered. Okay, and we've got a lot of edges that need to make sure that they fit together. So what we're going to do, or what I do, is I use a template, yeah, to sort of standardize the edge cuts on the 6s, the 9s and the 12s. And all the template is, and it's really simple, okay, all it is a bit of Weet-Bix box, yeah, and this is for a 6-inch one, and all I've done is I've sort of beveled and cut here where I want that edge to be. So if I come along, I'll move this MDF out of the way. If I come along and I put that there, okay, that shows me where my cut needs to be. So very quickly, so do you see that? See where my cut needs to be there? Okay, so very quickly what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put some pins in here just to hold it straight while I'm working. Yeah, so 3 safety pins, 3 drawing pins in there, and then I've got my template, and I'm going to cut along there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get my knife. Yeah, that's already getting close. Yeah, so cut that one, and then just very quickly. This knife isn't good for doing fine stuff actually, but it's okay for the rough cut. So there we have, what you call it, one side done, just very quickly. Yeah, and now that edge is done, okay, that is immutable. I can't touch that. I can cut into anywhere here, but I mustn't really touch that, this edge here. And the reason for that is dead simple, because we're going to take this off, we're going to go over to this piece, I'm going to take my drawing pins out before I spike myself. Yeah, so I put that there. I pin it in. Sorry about this, guys. Just get it done as quick as I can. There you are. So that's pinned in now on that side. Okay, and I'm going to do exactly the same on this side. So I've got a better knife. Let me grab that one. Now obviously when I'm shaping these hills, I'm actually going to cut this sort of straighter, but all I'm really interested in right now before I do the carving is setting this edge. And if you notice, my template's on there, move these out of the way. If I bring these together, they are perfect meeting. You see that? Yeah, literally, they are. They're easily within a millimetre of each other. And if I use this template for all my 6 edges, okay, then every 6 edge on that template will match. Okay, I can be guaranteed that if it's a 6, it will match with a 6, yeah, and it'll look good. And as I said, I'm going to carve into this and take this back. It's not going to have a V in it when it's done. I'll show you when they're done. Okay, but on the actual, on a piece of MDF, it does show you how I'm going in sort of ½ an inch off the lip. Okay, so all the pieces will be ½ an inch, and I'll shape this round so it's all the ½ an inch all the way round. And that is the basic tips towards making an MDF making a modular hills. Okay, all you got to do is plan it out to start off with, and then use things like these templates to make sure that your modular pieces fit. Now I've got these templates for the 6 inches, which is this one, the 9 inches and the 12 inches, so I can be guaranteed that all my modular pieces will fit together. Yeah, no worries whatsoever. There's also another little thing that I'll mention on this very quickly. Yeah, if I take this off, if you look at if you look at that, okay, see these green lines here, along here? Yeah, they're not for the cutting. What they're for is for the, for when I come to flock this. And I'm going to put static flock and static grass on the top, but I want my patches of static grass to meet over the edges. So this is the template for where the static grass, and as long as on every 6 there's static grass on this little edge here, it'll always match up with the other 6s. And I'm going to do that with the 9s and the 12s. So not only will the pieces match at the edges, yeah, but the grass on top will match as well. So I think there's nothing worse than having 2 modular pieces next to each other and having the grass staggered with sharp edges. It's such a giveaway. Okay, so that's how you sort of bring in and make sure that your flocking and your flocking and your static grass is modular as well. Now, with regards to making these hills and all this sort of stuff, okay, I'm going to do nothing different on these than I did on making these stylized wargame hills. Okay, so rather than show you all over again on how to make these hills, I'm just going to throw a link in the video in a corner, and I'll put a link in the description onto how to make the stylized wargame hills. Yeah, and you can follow that. Yeah, you should already know it if you've been watching my videos. If you haven't, then have a look. You know, to be truthful, you should be looking at that before looking at doing the modular stuff. Okay, but you see how this static grass sort of comes to the edge and the edge here? That's what that template's about. It's just so when I put another piece there, they'll line up, just to clear that up on an actual example. Okay, so that's about it for making modular hills, or the carving, the technicalities. I've covered the lot. The rest is just no different than making any other hill. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to crack on with all of these, okay, and I'm going to come back when they're finished so I can show you the finished article. See you in a little while. Well, I'll see you in a long while, guys, but it'll be a little while for you. All the best. It's actually been about a month since I filmed that last bit. We've had Christmas, I've grown a beard, I've shaved it off, and this project sort of dragged on quite a lot, and I wanted to finish this tutorial. So what I thought I'd do is I'd sort of not finish them, but show you them carved and everything, and just show you them working, etc., and just finish this off so I can get it online and take the pressure off building these. So let's go cameras down, guys. Okay, so there we have it. My my modular hills. Now I've tacked together a few pieces here, and by tacked all I mean is I've put little blobs of PVA onto the wood and just roughly put them down, yeah, so you can see. Now I've done a carved texture on that, and it's a quick one, a real quick one, and I'll throw a link up to the video and put it in the description to, you know, how I did that, because I did a little video on it. Now what you need to take away from this, and what I'll do is I'll show you first and then I'll go through what you need to take away from it. First off, as you can see, now they're carved, yeah, they are modular. So this 6 will fit with this 6, or it'll fit with this 6. Yeah, you see that? Perfect. Other examples, you know, you can spin around like that. That'll go with that. And they'll all line up, etc. And basically, what you've got to take away from this is all this doesn't matter. When it comes to planning and making modular hills, all that matters is the sides. Yeah, that side and that side. Now this is what you call it. This is a 6x9 piece I did. Now I actually used the same template that I used on this side to get this shape on this side. All I did is moved it along 3 inches. Yeah, so if you look, yeah, if I put those next to each other, even though they're not matching here, because I've used the same template, they're still matching exactly there. Okay, and that's all it comes down to when you're making modular hills, the planning in that template and standardizing these edges. Obviously, you look at materials that you're working with, capitalize on the straight edges of your materials. So if you've got corners on your baseboards or on your polystyrene blocks, use them for corner pieces. You know, use them first. It just makes sense. Now, a couple of other things is, obviously, I've done a video on how to sort of smooth it off. When you put them together, sometimes you can get a situation where, you know, there's a couple of millimeters gap. Yeah, and what's this caused by? Well, actually, it's caused by this protruding over a little, just where the angle isn't perfect. And what you can do in that situation is just get a block of wood or a brick or anything sort of solid and rectangular, wrap some sandpaper around it, put it on your table, okay, and then just slide this up and down. And what that will do is it will give that sort of side a nice right angle finish, and it will only go as far as the wood. Yeah, so it'll just pull any polystyrene bumps back in and they'll fit really nice and neatly rather than having, say, you know, a mil or a 2 mil gap. So that's it, guys. Let me just go up. Right, guys, that's the basic mechanics of doing modular hills. I'm sorry that they're not finished and you can't see them in all their glorious, but I thought this was more important getting the information out there than finishing off the project, because I've got 18 hills to do, but I will finish them and I will bring you the video to show you. Yeah, if you're not sure about how to finish them, the texturing, carving or anything else, check out my playlist on making hills. This video is part of it. There's a whole load of videos from painting, you know, everything you need to know really to watch to make these hills, so check that out. I'll put a link up and I'll put it in a link to the description as well. Yeah, in the meantime, guys, I'm going to get cracked on with these. I've got another video I need to do for the playlist, so I'm going to crack on with that. Any questions you've got, fire them away in the comments. I'm on Google+, I'm on Facebook. Yeah, so you can find me there if you want to follow me on those sort of social platforms. I'm getting to grips with them. Otherwise, just find me a message in the comments. Throw me an inbox message if you can. If you like what I've done, please like it. You know, if you like making terrain and you're interested in this stuff, subscribe to the channel. And if you really like it, you want to do me a favor, share it about, share it with your mates. I really appreciate that. In the meantime, yeah, have a good day, guys. I'm going to get cracked on, get building terrain. You have a good day, yeah. All the best. Ta-ra.